Are you going to Kentucky for Bourbon Trail stuff? Well, I have some tips and tricks that I would hope will make your trip even better. If you're new here and enjoying the content, I would appreciate a subscription to the channel. Go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And if I forget any little tip here, I'm sure I will, please comment down below and we'll get that out to the masses. Let's get into the video. All right, let's get into the tips and tricks. So first things first, I have been to Kentucky 4 different times for 4-day trips. So I like to think I have a little experience to give. And again, like I said before, if I'm missing anything, which I sure am, comment down below. So first things first, it shouldn't have to be said, but unfortunately does. Please do not drink and drive. You're going to be drinking a lot of bourbon, a lot of whiskey, and it is not worth losing your life over. Set up a DD rotation with your group, set up Ubers, ride shares, tour buses, whatever that may be. Do not drink and drive. Like I said, for our group, we rotate days on who's ED, and it works out great. So again, not much more to say on that one. Number 2, have some sort of plan. Now, it does not have to be some military minute-by-minute game plan of what you're doing, but have a loose idea like, hey, in the morning we're going to be at Buffalo Trace, in the afternoon we're going to be back at Michter's. Whatever that may be, have a loose plan because, tours might go long, you might get stuck in line at a distillery for a drop, much longer than you anticipated. Plan those tours accordingly as well. You don't want to go back to back in case, like, I'm going to go Buffalo Trace tour and then go to Heaven Hill tour. They're an hour apart, so make sure you account for that. Allow free time to go hunt, eat, whatnot, and then also know that places can be closed, especially distilleries. Wild Turkey's closed on Monday and Tuesday. Old Forester's closed on Monday, so be sure to know what places are open and closed, because that would suck if you got to Wild Turkey on Tuesday and you can't get in, right? So know what's open and closed. Next tip is going to be specific to where you're staying. You don't necessarily need to ball out on where you're staying, and have a little bit of a home base. So we always stay in Louisville. We feel that's the best kind of home base to go off of, because you'll see, I'll post a map right here, Louisville to Bardstown, and then to Frankfort, Lexington area. It's kind of one big triangle. It's all about an hour apart from each. So we picked Louisville. They feel like they have a little bit better of a nightlife, more bars, more distilleries, and whatnot. But also, yeah, you don't need to ball out, because ultimately you're really just kind of sleeping. You're waking up, you're going to get bourbon, and then you're coming back to sleep. So I was between a $500 place and a $250 place for my total trip. I chose the cheaper one. Also, if you're staying in Louisville, I don't know how it is in the other towns, but a lot of places on Whiskey Road do not include parking, which could be an extra $20 to $40 a day. So be sure to account that, because the $500 place did not include parking, so it would have been a lot more money. And the place I chose included parking. So be sure to watch out for that as well. Let's see here. All right, so hunting-wise, this is kind of like the big one. We all go to Kentucky for these bottles, right? I can't get these 2 bottles in North Carolina. It's hard to get these in North Carolina. So for stores, your chain stores are going to be closer to SRP. They might not have a better selection, but where I got my Weller 107 pick for $70 at the Cox's Spirit Shops, those are in and around Louisville. Those have a really good allocated kind of case. It's good prices. I got the Star Hill Farms from there as well. I'm just looking over at the hall. So they're really solid. I just missed a Weller drop of single barrel and full proof. Obviously I did get the 107, but those are great. Liquor barns are awesome too. They have the tasting bars in there, which are great. They have, I think they just do random allocation. So it's always usually behind the counter or a little center, desk or whatever. That's where I got these 117s. But yeah, the mom and pop stores, they're going to be pretty brutal museums. Let's just be honest, it's how it is. Some might be willing to work with you, but just don't go in there expecting to get a pappy for close to retail. They're going to be a few $1,000s. But then also for the distilleries, most of them do have a website or a Facebook group that will let you know what's expected to be dropping or what did drop. So I'll put a couple up here. Michter's, there's one where they'll say, hey, at open they had blank, right? Or the Buffalo Trace one, they'll say, hey, at open, they had blank. So, you know, go look up, most of the big distilleries have those. So go look on Facebook and you'll see that. Next tip, you do not need to do a tour at every single place. Obviously, if I've really wanted to go to Buffalo Trace and look around, or Old Forester, do that for sure. But if you say you're going for 3 days, you don't have to do 10 tours a day, right? Because you probably could with the amount of distilleries and whatnot that are there, but you're going to get toured out. You're not going to have time to do, you know, go to bars, eat, or do experiences. You know, do one or two tours, because like my last trip, I didn't do a single tour. I only did experiences. I did the Pursuit United whole shebang. You know, Heaven Hill has a cool experience and fill your own. So does Michter's. Look into the experiences a little bit more as well instead of just doing tours, because when it comes down to it, whiskey is really all made the same way. There might be a few quirks here or there from different distilleries, but it's all made the same. It all goes in the barrel the same. It all goes in the rickhouse the same. Again, a few quirks, but just know that tours are all generally the same. There are some tours that are better than others. Most tours do include a tasting, but be sure to pick and choose because you don't want to do too many. And yeah. And then last but not least, have fun. That's why we do this hobby. That's why we're in it. Obviously, if you work in bourbon, I guess you do need to do that for your livelihood. But have fun. You know, it's an awesome time. Don't have any expectations either. Don't go, I'm going to get a Pappy from Buffalo Trace. You're not. You're going to get a Pappy at the store that's selling it for $2,000. So, you know, don't have any expectations of what you're going to get. Yeah, you can kind of dream a little bit like, oh, imagine if, you know, Wild Turkey drops a cheesy gold foil while I'm there. It's okay to dream, but don't be so disappointed and let that bum out your trip because you didn't get the bottle you wanted. I think that's pretty much it. Again, comment down below if I forgot anything. I'm sure I did. Hope you all have a wonderful time in Kentucky if you go, and have a great day. Cheers, y'all.